Good evening, happy Monday. Welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a great one. We're going to try our best to make it even better for you. Breaking out all the hot topics everyone's talking about. We're talking about the government shutdown and what Trump has to say about the SNAP benefits. Nicki Minaj, she's facing some backlash after praising Donald Trump. And Jamaica, the visitors and the town people are coming together to help with the flooding after Hurricane Melissa came through. And then Diddy's been moved to a new federal prison. Drake is appealing the court ruling to throw out his defamation lawsuit against UMG and much, much more. Want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Blue Sky, X, and of course our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe and comment. We definitely appreciate you. Fam. How y'all doing on this Monday? How's it going?
Whoop-de-doo.
Well, listen, I on Friday the ladies came here to Atlanta, Georgia, for the Boys Mind Tour. Brandy, Monica, Kelly Rowland, and Maya has been stepping in for Money Long because she's having issues, what I understand, for her lupus. And also the guy who won American Idol, Jamal something. But I missed him. But so I had to say this show was really well done, especially Brandy and Monica's. You can tell that production, they were on point. I got there. Maya was just coming out, and I wasn't. She was supposed to be on the show a few years ago. I wasn't even excited about seeing her. I'm like, I'd rather see Money Long. And my friends are like, what? But she gave an incredible show, and I forgot how many hits she has. You know what I mean? But she looked amazing. She sounded great. Then Kelly Rowland came on. Katie, you be eating her alive. You saw the one clip where she sang Beyonce's verse instead of hers, and she caught herself. Well, at the show went to, she was joking about that. She said, "Y'all think y'all know the words, huh?" When the music came on, and then she started singing. She came in too soon. She said, "Well, I guess I should know the cue." And then she started singing, but she did good, and she's gorgeous, of course. Um, but I'm telling you, Brandy, Monica, they have so many hits, and someone said it's not really fair to Monica because Brandy's catalog, but they both did really, really great. And you can see that they have, it's not fake, this sisterhood they have now. You can tell it's genuine, the way that they support each other. They did bring out some guest stars. Kelly Rowland brought out Summer Walker. And then Brandy said most of the people that came out were Monica's people, Ludacris and JD. Although I didn't recognize JD, I didn't know that was him at first because his hair is different. And then Tank, Missy Elliott came out on So Gone, and Brandy did bring out Ray J, which was surprising because they're supposed to not be in a good space. But he came out at one end of her songs, and she introduced him, and they hugged, and then they went down on the stage. But I thought it was a great show. It was money well spent. Production was great. But I've been seeing this online, and I didn't want to really talk about it, but they are lip singing Brandy and Monica, like all the songs, but it's pre-recorded. So and they do a great job. So you can't tell, but it's they're lip singing. And this is how you can really tell. There were some audio issues. When Kelly was singing, the mic would go in and out sometimes. When Tank was singing, because he was surprised, they said, "Maybe I deserve." Mic went out. No vocalist, no audio issues with Brandy and Monica because the vocals were pre-recorded. But again, it was still a great show. They put on
Did she
great.
walk off?
No, she didn't walk off. She did a great job. I mean, they did a great job, and they came out together, and then like one would perform while the other was on the side, then they would come vice versa, and then but then they all came out. They came out with their own sets. Like Brandy came out, did some songs, and then Monica came out, did song. They did that back and forth a few times. But everyone in there was singing their hearts out. And one last thing, they did a show. They did a tribute to Whitney Houston, where they showed old footage of Monica with Whitney, and then Brandy with Whitney, and then they just talked about how she impacted them, and then they did "I Want to Dance Somebody," and then they left again, and then they did the finale, of course, on The Boy's Mind. But it was a really good show. I have to say, really good show, really good show. And these are all people in their 40s. Think about it. Maya said she was 46, and I know Kelly Rowland, she's about 44. And Brandy and Monica, they're around the same age, so but they did a great job. Great job. Money well spent. All
How
right.
you gonna not be ready to see the OG triple threat Maya? Like Maya's a triple threat. What's wrong with
I
you?
love Maya.
I was
I agree with Chike. I love Maya. Maya made me want my nose pierced. When she came out with Moving On that Rugrats song, yeah, that's my childhood. I'm with Chike.
I was never a huge fan, but I will say, watching her perform, and she had great energy, great stage presence as well. And to be added, I know she's been performing anyway, but to be added onto a tour and being able to fit in with that stage, she did a great job. Great job.
And she should have brought out Cisco. Where he from?
Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
All right, well, listen, here's our question of the day. Check this out. So there's two best friends. They travel to Jamaica for vacation. When they arrive, they find out the category hurricane Melissa is headed there. So they decide they want to fly back to the U.S., to avoid the hurricane. When they're looking up flights, they're $500 each, and only one can afford her own flight. She can afford her flight. She ends up booking her flight and leaving her friend in Jamaica and says that she has to get back to her kids. So the question is, was she wrong for leaving her friend in Jamaica for the Category 5 hurricane, or was her priority to her kids and getting back home? Lanier, I'll let you go first. I saw us on TikTok yesterday, and we posted it, and I had my strong opinion, and I was reading the comments. I was thinking, what? And then I posted it on Facebook today, and different opinions. What's your opinion, Lanier?
Okay, maybe it's just me. Okay, my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We going on a trip together. In this hurricane, and we got to get back.
Mm-hmm.
It's we got to get back. This is me. We got to get back. Now, you are responsible for making sure you got an appropriate amount of money when you travel. But I'm not going to leave my best friend and a hurricane is about to hit and use the excuse that I'm going back for my kids. Heifer, you left your kids to go to Jamaica.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to understand where's the best friend part. Because that means y'all got there and y'all instantly turn right back around. So even if she had some of it, you could have gave her half. And if you had the whole thing to pay for both of y'all, why not just be like, yo, pay me back when we get back? But we got to get the hell up out of here because we don't need to be here. We don't need to be here. Honey, that's not your best friend. You might want to cut that thing off.
You only had $500, not $1,000.
No. It said the flights are 500 each.
Yeah, 500 each.
It didn't say she only had. It said the airfare back was 500 each.
It would be 1,000 for the both of them.
It would be 1,000 for the both.
And they said she had enough to cover herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that don't mean she had enough to cover the other 500.
Doesn't matter. I'm like
this should be one of them questions like on a job interview thing, like situational, to see what your personality like. Like, do you get along with the team, or you gonna lead the team to die? Like, that should be one of them questions.
Brittany, what are your thoughts?
I had my thought, but then I asked somebody else about it before I logged on for this, and they were like, why do you want everybody to die with you? Like, why don't you want somebody to survive? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they were basically saying, what if the best friend is a guy friend?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy friend is like, we don't both need to be here. I might be able to survive, but I can't survive trying to keep you alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be able to better survive alone in certain instances.
This too.
And so when I see both sides, I guess. Is that bad? I see both sides. I see some people where they be like, they are they can survive better only having to worry about themselves, and that they feel as though, we both don't need to die in this situation. If one of us can get out, then fine. You know what I'm saying? However, I was raised, if you go with somebody, you go together, you come together, you leave together. You don't come home without the other person. Like, that's how I was raised. But I recognize everybody was not raised like that. They might have been raised a little bit more individualistic, and yeah, that's my take. I don't know. It's not a right or wrong answer, I guess.
CK, what are your thoughts?
I'm with my friend. Like, there's no question to it. The kids are safe. What they need me for? They're on dry, safe land. What they need me for? I would figure that my friend would need me to be a co-captain with them in that moment, simply because some shit is about to go down, and we are better together than separate. And I'm only speaking like in real life. Lanier and I can rule the world together if we put our mind to it. And there's no way that I would leave her, because I know she wouldn't leave me. You give what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay, but
understand
if
that.
you are Jack and Lania and Rose, who getting on the door?
It's not going to go down like that, because the number one priority would be, who are we calling to come up with this money so we can get off
That's
this
what I'm
island?
saying. Call somebody. Raise the money.
We know too many people for $500.
Like,
We know too many people.
Ain't no way. Matter of fact, right now, and this is the dynamic with our relationship. He can say right now, all right, we hanging out, right? It's his treat. I'm still gonna have money in my pocket.
Yeah.
And he know, even when we do go out, I'm still gonna buy us around, even though he might be treating, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking us out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I got you because you my friend. And this is the word that we like to use, and we're poor. but we got each other.
Yeah.
And that's just how, when we go out, ain't no way I'm supposed to be.
Even in the worst case scenario, I'm gonna stand behind her when the flying tree is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be there for your roadie.
We are resourceful people.
I had a
resourceful.
situation. It wasn't this bad, but I was going on a group trip to Jamaica for a birthday party a few years ago, and the day we were going on the trip, the flight, we were delayed all day long and ended up canceling the flight that day because there was having the issues with the runway in Jamaica. So we get booked on the next flight. I mean, on the next morning, and they're all it's 6 of us. 5 of them are on the 7 a.m. flight. I'm on the 8 a.m. flight, which it is what it is. So we fly in. So I'm 30 minutes from landing, and one of them texts me, "Hey, have you landed yet?" I said, "No, I'm 30 minutes out." They left me at the airport. I felt a way about that. So I can only imagine my friend left me in Jamaica in the storm.
There is no way.
I wouldn't leave my friend. We would figure it out. Call, do something. I couldn't leave my friend. But let me read some of the comments. So someone said, "Oh my God, see, I can't leave my friend. We both going home." Melanie said, "I won't leave my friend behind. I personally don't travel unless I can afford the trip and have enough money to account for any possible issue, and any friend that travels with me the same." Joy says she's not wrong. She has to do what it is in her best interest for her children. They are all adults. Kimberly said, "Not wrong at all. Travel insurance is incredibly inexpensive and would have covered the flight home. If you can't afford to travel, stay home or plan ahead and have insurance to cover things like this. Also, just don't go to the Caribbean during hurricane season in the first place." Kenya said, "If I had it to loan, I'd help. But if I didn't, then dang, homie, I have responsibilities."
Wow.
Three said, "If my kids were okay when I if they were okay, then I wouldn't leave my friend. If my kids were worried about me or had time and date for me to pick them up by, then I have to be the first. I have to be a parent first. But I get home and send for my friend." And there are a lot more comments, but some people were saying that it's the friend's fault for not having money just in case something happened.
So let me just say that. I don't know if it was my 30th on my 30th. I've been to Jamaica 5 times.
Mhm.
4 of those times were with girlfriends, and 1 time was with Jay.
Mhm.
During one of the trips with my girlfriends, probably like I think it was the day we were getting ready to come back, a storm hit. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh snap. We ain't gonna be able to get out of here
Right. Right.
because the storm is coming.
Yeah.
We all buckled down. It wasn't like, oh, I'm getting up out of here. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can stay here. No, we buckled down and we had to stay an additional 2 days. So
Mhm.
we buckled down. And I will say this, thank God because it wasn't our fault, the resort
Like
didn't try to charge us
that's good.
like, like it was our fault
Mhm.
for having to stay because the flights were canceled. But let me say this to that person that said something about travel insurance. You talk about travel insurance, I guarantee your ass ain't got life insurance. How about that? How about that?
Well, listen, go on,
And so
Blue Sky.
wait, the thing for me, right? Okay, so say I left and I went back home and I left my friend there and something tragic happened in the storm on the island and my friend is no longer around.
Mhm.
There's no way that I could live with myself knowing
No,
that I
I think
left
they
my
get it.
friend. There's no way.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Well, listen, go on Blue Sky X. Let us know, was the friend wrong to leave a friend in Jamaica due to this storm?
Mm, mm, mm.
All right, so after weeks of tension and a whole lot of side eyeing from the public, President Trump administration announced today that he'll partly fund the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, better known as food stamps, after 2 federal judges told them they had to keep the program running, the Associated Press reports. The move comes right as millions of Americans were staring down empty refrigerators in full blown panic, wondering how they were going to buy groceries come November 1st. SNAP, which helps feed about 1 in 8 people across the country, costs roughly $8 billion a month to operate. The money that was supposed to be frozen thanks to the ongoing government shutdown. Now, thanks to those court rulings, the USDA says it'll put some funds back into the system. The big question is how much and how soon folks will actually see the money hit their EBT cards. And I was watching CBS Evening News. They don't know when the money's going to hit and how much. But the thing is, there is a contingency fund that the government has for situations like this, but they're saying they can't use it, but they're using money for everything else. Chike, what are your thoughts on Trump announcing that partially some of the money will become back?
I really have a gesture that I want to do, but I won't do that because it's a little obscene.
Yeah.
But what you didn't mention is that, and then I want people to hear me well when I say this, they're also appealing that ruling.
Mm-hmm.
So the appealing of that ruling means they're fighting hard to still not give people that money,
Right.
even though they were told that it was wrong, it's not right, it's against policy, but they're appealing it. So they are going out of their way to mistreat and starve and treat people horribly. They're going out of their way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want people to think about this when they go to the polls. And now that we're still talking about that, I'm jumping on my bandwagon again. Switch over to mail-in voting. Please switch over to mail-in voting. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? The red states are the ones that are really being impacted by this the most. I mean, there are people in blue states that have SNAP benefits too, but red states are really benefit. These are people who vote Republican, and it's like the cruelty is the goal. The cruelty is the
Mm-hmm.
goal, not feeding people basic necessities, food. And then one thing I was going to say, I forgot. I forgot. Anyway, Brittany, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's very like disheartening, and I definitely hear everybody's pains. The craziness in the grocery stores even before today was absolutely insane this past month. I had to go and get like Halloween treats and do my own grocery shopping and stuff like that. And the grocery stores were ransacked, lines were long. People thought that they were taking money, unused money off of the card. That was not the case.
Oh,
Jasmine Crockett said that if you have leftover money on the card, they are not removing any of the funds left over. You just won't be issued any new funds. But people thought that it was some social media post that had everybody in a panic that if there was any money left on the card, it would just be cut off from them. So they went and they tried to use every dollar on the card.
yeah.
Then there was another social media post that came and had called for looting today between 6 and 7:30, 6:30 to 7:30 at Walmart. Please do not do that. Like, we are in, you know, an administration that tends to
Mm-hmm.
act with aggressive force.
Yep.
So I think any additional um ammunition you might give them to enact the National Guard or do anything else would not be beneficial to the cause. I think that, you know, and I was listening to Jasmine Crockett. She was on Young Jock's morning show, and she was saying that it's literally going to take one of Trump's friends saying that they are impacted by his decisions for him to make some changes. Because right now he seems to be more concerned with remodeling the White House than helping and doing restroom makeovers. So she was saying, like, it would literally take boycotting Amazon because you don't have the funds or something like that. And then Jeff Bezos, one of Trump's homies, being like, hey, I'm losing money. You're going to have to do something. And then him releasing money to the public. But
Yeah.
I know, like, certain states, like our mayor, Andre Dickens, has um,
Frozen.
placed a hold on the evictions and all kind of things for people that might be experiencing,
Mhm.
financial issues due to having to feed their families.
Yeah.
So it's really tough.
It is. It is. Yeah. And I see a lot of food banks and churches and things like that are doing they can help as well. Lanier, what are your thoughts on this?
It is a tactic to create chaos
Hmm. Yep.
in order to have a reason to enact martial law.
Hmm.
That is something that has always been said.
Yep.
I, you know, I stopped trying to understand the people who listen to and follow. There was something a comment someone made, and the guy said, "It boggles my mind that people with only 8 teeth can listen to people with 8 yachts."
Right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it 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 is this has always been a thing, and this is why reading is fundamental. Have been the major recipients of the
Yeah.
service
Yes.
since it's been enacted. The major recipient.
Mhm.
No other has gone above them.
Right.
They've been the major recipient of those services.
Hmm.
Because if it was us as the major recipient, I need y'all to understand, we wouldn't even be having it.
Right.
We're not the major recipient, as you already mentioned, in those mostly Republican states. That's where they're really getting it. But we're talking about people with disabilities. We're talking about people who have children. We're
Mhm.
talking and
Totally.
let's 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 also talk about the fact that a majority of people who have children and they're on it, they do have a job. That job don't even pay enough to
Right.
do nothing.
They're
That,
military people on Snap.
and there are
Yeah.
military people receiving SNAP benefits
Yep.
because they're not making enough and they're serving the country.
Right.
So when people talk about this, like they created the fake AI videos of Black women allegedly, upset about their SNAP benefit, those are AI videos.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But then you see the videos of these people who are just, I don't know who the dude is, but he's in the store dancing and he has a sweatshirt on and has a cross on. He's like, oh yeah, the store is not crowded because them people ain't getting they SNAP benefits. It was a black dude, but he's a super MAGA supporter. Like, and all these other people, these people getting on, oh yeah, y'all upset y'all not getting y'all benefits. Let me tell you something. If you got a student loan, you receive government assistance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If you have a student loan in any form of capacity, it might not be the form of SNAP or Medicaid, but you're receiving some form of federal government assistance. Did you get that $1,200 check that y'all keep yelling about? That's a form of government assistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Nicki Minaj jumped into political waters this weekend after praising Trump for his message about Nigeria and the ongoing violence against Christians. As reported, Trump took to Truth Social Saturday and warned Nigeria's government that if it doesn't stop what he calls slaughtering Christians, the U.S. might pull aid. His exact words were, I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet. Now, Nikki reposted the statement and said it made her feel a deep sense of gratitude for living in a country where she could worship freely. This shout out to Trump sent social media into a frenzy, and now she's responding. I had her response up here. She said, imagine hearing Christians are being persecuted and not being able to have empathy for them because you are blinded by your own personal obsession with Trump. This says more about you than him, my darling. Blocked for being sheep. Naja to the world. And then she said, imagine the Christians are being murdered and making it about you being gay when my home was swatted multiple times with my innocent toddler inside, with my maybe 20 officers with guns drawn pointed at our home due to political corruption. You being gay couldn't save me. Expecting someone to stay oppressed, abused, targeted, harassed, and consistently ignored are public figures who were supposed to be helping them say more about you than it does anyone else. I'll advocate for you for the same way that I'm advocating for murdered Christians in Nigeria, like I always have. Just remember that. Diligently, compassionately, just remember that part too. LOL, and I know you're not a die-hard fan. Let me think about if I want to block you for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Love you. Brittany. Brittany.
Uh, what's the question? I don't even do
What
I
do you have
respond
to her
uh,
addressing the backlash?
okay. We're we're still on the government shutdown, and Houston's airport is experiencing 3-hour delays with not being able to have TSA workers. There's gonna be impact with air traffic controllers. There's going to be impact with our U.S. Post Office. Most Black people tend to work for the government. The government is the largest employer in the United States of America, which means that it's majority of us that are impacted by not being paid because a lot of Black families that are working or have somebody working for the government in some form of capacity. And it's just very disheartening that that's not the issue at the forefront. It's somebody else's drama we're discussing.
Mm. Lanier.
um, we all know what the play is. The play is to destroy anything that is not this. I don't know what's going on abroad, and that is not my business.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going on abroad is not affecting me the way that what's happening over here is affecting me.
Right.
But what he does abroad will affect all of us, just like what he's doing here affects all of us. And I'm not going to say what I really want to say when it comes to this person and this statement, because sometimes people should just shut up. Rehabs are open, they haven't shut down. You can freely go and check yourself in, all that good stuff. I'm done.
Yeah. People calling her MAGA. What's her name? What's her nickname? Oh, MAGA Barb. That's something they're calling her. Because apparently she's allegedly have shown support for Trump in the past. So, Chicken, what are your thoughts?
So on the government front, the whole movement to be an isolationist is what has been on the menu. Take care of America first, right? So you're talking out both sides of your neck. Take care of America first, but you're constantly involved in other people's business. It doesn't make sense. When you are engaged in repartee with someone that you may be romantically interested in, what happens when they start double talking you, or they're giving you too much, too soon, too fast, and you're all over the place? You say, nah, never mind, I don't want no parts of that, because it's confusing. It's the same here. You have a relationship with your government. You're doing too much. You want to take away things, and you want to change the world. So it's a whole isolation situation where we were about America first, but you're constantly inserting yourself in other people's business. And I'm not saying that things that are happening abroad, I don't care about, because I do. But when the fire is burning in your own home, wouldn't you want to put out that fire first before you start reaching out to help out your neighbor? They even tell you on airplanes, grab the oxygen tank and put it on yourself first. And then you can help out your neighbor because you're solid. And as far as people with a platform, just because you sell records and the spotlights are on you and you have the capacity to reach thousands or maybe even millions of people, doesn't mean that you should.
Right. That's true. All right, we'll come back. Jamaica, they're showing how their spirit is unmatched. Diddy has moved to a different federal prison, and Drake has filed an appeal to the court ruling that threw out the defamation lawsuit. Right back after this.